All right, well, this is what it's all about right here. I finally arrived at level 18, which gives me the auto auction. So it's pretty much a grind up to this point. It's not too bad. You know, I guess I learned my lesson about hoarding. I had about, I don't know, $1,500 left, and I just sold all my parts. So I got $111,000. And I bought this at auction for too much, and it's worth 43, and I paid like I want to say 46 for it, and I redid the entire engine. So, but it's always nice to just get in. And that's kind of what it's all for. You get to do this, but there's nothing in the glove box. There's nothing under the visors. But you can go out and drive it, which is you could go out to the old airport, or you know, you could go to the test track, which I have not been to the track yet. However, this car has nothing done to the. So you see the parts condition is 72%, which can lead me into the particulars of this game, some of them. But as you can see, all my suspension parts, brake parts are suffering, which probably shaves maybe 10 grand off of this. So that comes down to, do I want to sell this car? I mean, look at this. This is my favorite color, purple. And it's got a brand new V8 overhead valve engine. Brand new everything. Except the suspension. And the steering. And the brake. However, I do have... How did that get turned? That wasn't turned. No, I don't want to turn that way either. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Alright, so I got a brand new, all brand new V8 overhead valve engine, which is handy because in the garage here, these are all one carb overhead valves, these 3 Z28s I have. So in the process, obviously, of going to the junkyard, you're gonna grab everything that's 15% or above that you can find, that so you can take it to the table and you can fix it. The things you can fix: rims, you know, engine blocks, camshaft, crankshaft, most all engine related items except gears, belts, pistons, rings. But see, these are really rough. These are really rough. I'm not lying. These are rough. But then that's about what I paid for it. I don't see, they must have kind of worked on this pricing thing, because I'm seeing a reduction on every car I bring back of, a couple hundred to 1,000, or maybe even 1,500 less. And I'm getting them all for, 65, 62, 58. Like, I think I got this one 58. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because, I'll just recycle the whole engine thing. But I don't. I want to wait till I can completely paint these, and I agree with Mr. Moose. You ought to be able to send these out for paint. It ought to cost you a good bit. It'd be like a vanity thing. If you want to go spend the money and put these out to paint, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you less, much less, when you go to paint it yourself. But it should be doable. I do agree with that. Just because you don't get a chance to look at a nice, pretty, you sell it, you make the money. You keep a lot of parts around. You buy, invariably you don't have the parts you want, and or the parts that do work are very low quality, and you end up trashing a third of them in the process of trying to, and you end up buying them anyway. But see, I put these, I modded these in. Okay, so I have the 302 Boss. I have, the Ford GT and the lift truck, the hauling truck, whatever it's called, and several other ones, the Countach, the obviously the Z28 and the SS Camaro, and what else? There's a Ferrari. There's the Aston Martin. Yeah, most of the top ones that are up there listed, I've grabbed. Some of them I haven't put in. But, and this Challenger, which I can't remember what I paid for this. I think I paid less for this. I think I paid like 11. So, or maybe less. Or hell, I could have paid 16 for it, and I just don't remember. No, I think it was 12. I came back to it a few times. I think it was 12 something. Okay, but now wait, this is Z28. This is an SS. No, it's another Z28. Is this? Wait. What am I? Why am I? Okay. Oh, never mind. It's just the angle. Anyway. Well, wait. Really? I didn't know I had 4. Okay. I thought I had 3. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Whew, rough. Nice. That's why. Now, I had this whole engine. I should not have sold this engine. I mean, I had the entire new engine, but I got impatient. I was going through my inventory, and I just didn't, I didn't care. I didn't care. I was looking through the entirety of it. I was selling things. I was fixing enough to get that engine going, which surprisingly I did not possess most of the parts. I probably had 5 of the, parts, main parts, and changed the pistons, and, spark plugs, pulleys, all that. Grabbed that, all that new, um, you know, power steering pump, flywheel. Flywheel I had actually, but in any case, you know how that goes. One exhaust manifold. I did have the intake. I had the pan. So I had to do new rods, all new caps, new rockers, new push rods, all that stuff. So yeah, it gets costly up front, but I sold a lot of stuff. Got 111 grand. Got this. Now, I really want to go back to the auction because, of course, you get priced out. If you don't have enough money, you get priced out anyway on some of them. But as far as the 4-star cars, you're going to get priced out if you don't bring the money. And you can kind of go and see what I want. I mean, this was a car that was affordable. I paid too much for it, but I mean, it's a car I wanted that was still, that I could still get with the money I had. It's as simple as that. So, I'm liking it. I can sell it anytime. That's the good thing about this game. It's not going to degrade in value. The parts don't degrade in value. Now that's another mechanic altogether. And please don't get upset if you happen to look and see there's two different rim sets. I just happen to want to put high condition rims on this car. And surprisingly, out of the say 100 rims I had six 15-inch rims. 15 being something like an outside out of the 7 different rim sizes, you know. I had 6 out of 100, and they weren't a set. And I, of course, in the process of getting these rims up par, lost one of the set. So, because I got 85% chance. So, you know, obviously, what we're looking for. No, that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is level 30, but the grind is now to 20, which doesn't give me much. Yeah, that's it. Get to 25. That's it. I mean, that I suppose it's going to help me at the auction. You know, I'll have to try it and see. You know, it's a worthwhile, but of course, I'd have to engage. I'd have to put a point into each one of these to get it. But it would give me 5% more income, 5%. Well, level 2, 10% discount shops. So you know, that's a worthwhile tree to go up. But to be able to paint my own car, so it ends up coming around to just waiting now and grinding it out. But I figure, oh, also I changed my banner. This is my banner I made. I just grabbed a picture of a garage and, you know, changed the aspect, changed the size of the banner, changed the size of the picture, and it's supposed to say Mike's right there, but I didn't actually hit enter, so it didn't save it in the file. But I can change that. And, you know, this is Mike's Garage. It's a retro banner, you could say. This is like an homage to the olden days. And so I got this brand new engine, which, and look, it's turned again. Did I turn it that way? So I have the whole thing, engine flywheel, you know, everything, all the way down to the throw bearing. Um, so I can drop this in, you know, so it'd be a quick rebuild. That's nice. And what I can do is pull that engine out, fix it, drop the, you know, drop it back in, pull it out with the lift, put it on here, then take it off here. Then I can come back and put that back on here as an engine assembly. So I can drop that off and put that on here and rebuild that one for the next one. So that's my thought with the Z28s. It's kind of like a pipeline for the V8 overhead valve, because I can recycle them. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I figure let's... Did I open that door? Did I open that door? I don't remember. Did I? I guess I did. Yeah, I can sit in this side too. Cool. Look at that fake leather. Look how beautiful that fake leather looks. The vinyl. Breathe. Breathe in the new car smell. This is as close as I'm ever gonna come to owning this car. So as meager really as this car is, there's plenty of people that this is no big deal at all. But I would love to go riding down the road in this purple Chieftain TBX Chevelle. No, this is a what is this? This would be, you know, this is almost like, it's not a GTO, obviously. This is like a GTO, 69 GTO. But these would have a different, I don't know, this is like a merge that they really, what, I've seen this before though. What, like a hybrid '69 Firebird, '69 GTO, something, I don't know. But what is it? It's 291. It's pretty meager. It's underrated, you know, as they all were back then, but it's meager. You could always put the dual intake on it, I guess, you know. It's too bad they don't let us do that, because I had the dual as well. That would have been cool. Anyway, let's venture back off to the car auction since I could go now, and let's see if I can, we'll look at the list of cars, because I don't really know the cars that well, and that's the thing. But overall, I would say I've learned one thing in this game. If I ever started over, use the junkyard to buy the parts you need at the time you need them and repair them as you need them. Find a couple of each part, as much as you can find, 15% or above, and work on a strategy for, engines. And then just work on engines and store the cars, and then work on suspensions, bring them back, do the suspensions, and kind of work your way up, instead of, because I think I've accomplished what many people do in this game, is buying just a bunch of parts because, wow, look at all the parts, and then realizing you sunk all your money into $100,000 in parts. So that's what I did. So this is something I definitely don't want. And this will, I could get this at the junkyard for 12. Well, no, in this shape, yeah, that's probably a good price. It would definitely, if this was at the junkyard, it would be 18 or something for this. But you wouldn't find this in this decent shape at the junkyard. But if you did, so that's not bad. Let's go to the next one. Come on, don't mess me up. Nah. Three-star car. Three-star car. And it's all rusted. See, if I'm going to get something now, it's going to be pretty. If it's going to sit in my garage, it's going to be pretty. Let's see what she looks like. There we go. What it would be one day, huh? And I only got one left. So let's go for this. Hey, it's a good shape. I put it in the game. I want to see what it looks like. See what they go. Hammer him down. Hammer him down. Gotta hammer him down. Yeah. Let's see, I don't think I did bad on this. I think it's gonna be 32. No. Okay, good enough. You shoot for a car that you see in there you like, you try it out. Yeah. There's several cars now, but I mean some of them are ridiculous. There's no way I would, if the Lamborghini came up there, the Ferrari or the Aston Martin or any of them, I wouldn't even couldn't even start the auction. When I found the Aston Martin in the junkyard, it was 121,000, and it was junk. It was complete junk, except the interior. The interior was the only thing in the car that it was in the yellow. So it cost me a fortune to rebuild it. Anyway, I like this because I wanted to have the Boss 302. The other one's the in-game car, which we look like. What do we look like? Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm not in love with the color, We don't know any of it. We'd have to do the whole test on it. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Wow. It's not horrible. But, you know, could easily be fixed. And where are we with this? Well, I said 26, right? Alright. You know, it is what it is. Alright. I don't hate it. Yeah, no OBD port on this. Too old. It's gonna be, well, I mean, you know, this car should be in good shape. This car should be in excellent shape. I mean, I would hope the suspension's decent. I'm sure it'll be in the yellow. It'll all just be in the yellow. Yeah. Some more faux leather. Corrugated design looks cool. Yes. And they still got 85 grand, which is not shabby. I mean, there we go. Of course, I'll have to send them away because I only have 2 bays. Or I could work on them. Fix them up. Let's see what the parts list look like overall. Put it on the test path, but, you know. Anyway, which, hey, let's do it, right? Why not? That's what you do. I mean, if you wanted to actually run your garage and, you know, it was your time to goof around and just enjoy, this is what you would do. Check those brakes out. Come on. Pretty much equally distributed in problems, but we can just imagine what the usual suspects are: bushings, yeah, shocks, calipers. Yeah, it's just scattered around. and some of them are usual. So there we go. Because we're going to have to make some money. So we'll leave my purple car out here. More visually appealing to the whole, you know, the whole thing, I think. We got to fix the rims up. I'll come up with some the nicest 15s I want to put on there and put on there, you know. But of course, coming back the next time, I'll go to the junkyard and loot. Maybe I'll do that off camera. Go and loot. And you know, if something happens and I really get into a good find and there's something noteworthy, I'll start up something at the junkyard after I loot. And if I'm gonna buy a car, that's a good buy. Every once in a while, and you know, 85,000 is enough to go to the junkyard with to pretty much grab. You know, I'm not looking to get the Ferrari or the Lamborghini. It's not going to happen. I'll have to sell some stuff. I'll have to do some work before I grab those. But you know, and it seems that if you go with a bunch of money, they don't want to give you anything. And then when you go with less money, then that car will be worth. That appears. It appears. Now it could be wrong. You know, it's just me being paranoid. But I don't know. Anyway, my parts house is empty. I got a complete beautiful. Look at this. It's got a glitch to where it wants to turn my engine. I want my engine right. Okay, let me go this way, and then there, and let's see what happens if I leave it like that. Okay, so I have no parts in my inventory. Empty. No parts in my warehouse. Empty. So yeah, we're gonna want to go look for V8 overhead valve parts and parts for, you know, the Z's, and scavenge mainly for those. Engine blocks, whatever is you know, all my 302 boss related for that other boss I got up there, and grab all the parts I can for that 302 engine, so on and so on. So that would be, oh, my banner. There we go. There's my ending picture. But that would be my strategy. But I would say if I was to start a run fresh, I would kind of be frugal, take the jobs you have to do. That's something else, you know. I'll have to go back and actually take jobs. You can take jobs that are not, you know, gearbox stuff is great. That's what I say. Gearbox, brakes are your favorite ones. When you get into having to take entire, you know, assemblies, front and rear part, that's the problem. It's usually not a front body or rear body suspension problem. It's a mix of both. But then again, they give you the target items. You know, the end links, the rear end links, the shocks, all those usual suspects. Bush wheel bearings, the caps, all that stuff. So, you know, you get in the swing of things when they make you have to take apart the entire, you know, timing chain housing and the heads, and do rockers, pistons, and timing parts, both, that you have to go under the car, in the car, you know, to know which starters are accessible from above, which starters are accessible from below, not get into this thing of putting the car up and down and up and down. So anyway, that's what that at least alleviates for me, is to be able to go through the rebuilding of the Z's and alternate the blocks up here on the stand and rebuild them and drop them in. That way I can do all my body suspension work with the engine out, and then just drop the engine in at the end. So that's my hope there. And, I can take this off the stand right now and put it in my storage. In fact, let's test this. Let's test this now. Let's make sure that this actually works, because if it doesn't, it's not going to do me any good. So let me take out the stand. It is now in my inventory as an engine assembly, right? Let me put it back on. Let's make sure. Add engine. So I could put this in my warehouse, or I can hold it in my inventory. It doesn't matter. It's in my inventory. I could have, a full, a perfect one of these in my inventory anytime I want to. So there we go. The cool thing is, that's true. Now that I got that other Boss 302, all I have to do is yank that engine out. Find me a Boss 302 block at the junkyard, drop it in there, put it up on the stand, and go through the process. And I can have a complete 302 Boss engine in my inventory, so I can go ahead and rebuild on the thing, drop that brand new one in the brand new Mustang, you know, fix all the body parts, drop it in, bam, and you know, and I'll have the other engine already, and bring one of the old ones in, redo it from scratch, and drop that in, so that I can have that process there, just because I bought that one. So that's cool. That kind of helps me there. If I get a go, I could do the same thing. I could go get another Boss 302 and just, boom, 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 piggyback the engines that way. At least for the time being, until you can just create and put a block, just put a bare block on the stand. Then that at least gets you around that conundrum with having to do it in the vehicle, which you just don't want to do. It's a pain in the butt. It's not horrible, but it's much nicer on the stand. So that's my deal. Grab what cars you can grab at the junkyard. Find the parts you need to fix them. Find duplicates, all of them you can grab. Grab as many high condition and medium condition parts as you can along the way. Buy those and keep those in storage. But that's it. Don't go now. You can go in the deal where you can use the. It's not a cheat, but it's a method. You just go and buy whatever you got. I go buy $80,000 worth of stuff. No matter what it is, I'm gonna make money. But I can still make money. I'm not using that as a buff, and I still can anytime I want to. But you know, I could do it along with grabbing my parts, because I will. I'll grab other stuff. I'll grab blocks. I'll grab camshafts and crankshafts and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'll maximize whatever profits. The other stuff is low hanging fruit. It's constitutes a small portion of the profits you make. The most profits you make are on profitable items, like a lot of the body parts. If you happen to catch that are in good condition, that you'll get 150 extra bucks for when you sell it. Body parts for the high end cars and things like that you happen to find at 50% condition. So yeah, all that stuff's doable, findable, and you can manage the junkyard more efficiently. Still get the cars you want. Still maximize the rebuilds, getting suspension parts, all that for cheap, because you don't want to have to buy them. You could do the whole discount thing in your toolbox, but mainly if if you keep up with the junkyard and you are selective, and you kind of are frugal with your with your fixes on the table, because if you try to get too greedy, you'll keep losing blocks. You got to kind of spread it around, and maybe try for a variety of different parts to bump up their quality. And the best you could do is have duplicates. If you really wanted to have a quality part, you'll probably get 2 out of the 4, something like that. If you really wanted to have a particular head or a particular block, whatever. Anyway, let's conclude this. You know, we could go on forever about this, but we could end it here. This is my little setup. This is how, I'm going to take other jobs. I'm going to do repairs. I'm going to go do through it all. But, you know, and I want to go to a barn finder too. I know I should wait, but I'm not going to exploit it. But I'd like to see what's there. But I want to get my cash up. I want to have $200,000. So if I find that high end car, I can get it, and that'll be nice. That I can get that for uh, Ford. I think it's the Shelby, or it's a GT. Yeah, it's a GT. It's an older one, and it's got the Berlinetta. But that's, I don't know what that's going to be. But $200,000 ought to cover that, or even the Aston Martin, whatever. They're going to be in some of the Marn finds. So I really don't want to jump into that until I give them some money back. So we'll fix those Camaros up. We'll fix that other Ford up, that 302 Boss, and that should bump me over. I could still keep these two cars, sell the other four, and have 200,000. Sell parts that I find and stuff like that. So I'm working out pretty good. I'm happy with it. You know, I'll live with it. There were things I'd do different, but overall, I've recouped. I sold all those parts. I didn't lose on those parts. I just didn't sell them up front at the beginning. But I tell you one thing, I would not come in here with a whole load of parts and just start fixing stuff. You're going to run your money down to nothing. And, though you can go back and sell those parts and that's all great at any time, overall, probably best to just repair the parts that you immediately need at the time, and then other ones that you want to make money off of that you're going to sell right away. But those parts that are, say, at 15% to 20%, 30%, just let those sit because they're not going to degrade. And when you want them, pull them out, then fix them. You don't want to fix all these blocks and have six of the same block sitting in your storage. It does you no good. You're not going to go through that many cars. So, I mean, if you bump them up, great. They're not going to degrade. You can sell them anytime you want to, but don't get hooked into running $10,000 into fixing parts, and now you got $1,000 left, and you don't even have the money to buy the parts to do the repair on the car you just brought into the shop, and then you still got to go back and sell all those parts anyway. So, any case, run it like you would a business. Go get the parts. Be particular. Be frugal. Be careful. Be particular about which ones you're buying at the time. Don't sink a bunch of money into anything you don't need. So there you go. Anyway, give me a like. Let me know what you think. I'm long winded, but that's my strategy in the game. And, can't wait to get to level 30. That's what I'm shooting for. But it's going to be a bit of a grind. I'll take y'all along with me, though. Thanks for watching. See you next time.